The quiet of space was broken by a sound no one expected. At the far edge of the solar system, where the stars shine cold and distant, a deep space listening station picked up a strange signal. It was faint at first, like a whisper lost in the vastness, but soon the signal grew clearer. Dr. Lena Carter sat alone in the control room. The blinking lights of her instruments were the only source of light in the dark station. Her eyes were tired, but she was wide awake. She had been working for hours, scanning the endless static of space for anything unusual. Then, out of nowhere, a clear pattern appeared on her screen. It was not random noise. It was a message. Lena's fingers moved quickly over the keyboard, trying to decode the signal. The language was strange at first, like a code, but as seconds passed, the code turned into words. Simple, clear words. And then those words formed sentences. Sentences in English. "Help us," the message said. "They are coming." Lena's heart stopped. She blinked again, not sure if her tired mind was playing tricks. But the message repeated itself, growing stronger and louder. "They are coming. Earth must prepare. War is near." The room was silent except for the soft hum of machines. Lena knew this was impossible. No one had sent a message like this before. At least no one on Earth, or so everyone thought. She called her supervisor. Immediately, "Dr. Malik, you need to see this," she said, her voice shaking. Within minutes, the control room was crowded with scientists. The signal kept repeating, a clear warning sent across the stars, far away from the space station. On Earth, the world was about to change forever. In the capital cities of the world, leaders were gathering in secret. The message had been sent to every major government, every space agency, every intelligence service. No one could explain it. No one could ignore it. At the United Nations headquarters in New York, a special meeting was called. The room was filled with the most powerful people on Earth: presidents, generals, scientists, diplomats. They sat in silence as the signal was played again. The words echoed in the room. "They are coming. Earth must prepare. War is near." Questions filled the air. Who were they? Where were they coming from? And why did they send the message in English? Dr. Michael Reyes, a leading astrophysicist, stood up. His face was pale but steady. "We have never seen anything like this," he said. "The signal is coming from a star system 600 light-years away. The message is a warning. But from whom?" The room was quiet. No one had an answer. Outside the meeting, in the streets, life continued as normal. People went to work. Children played in parks, and the news on television reported nothing unusual. But beneath the surface, a storm was building. Unseen eyes watched from the shadows. Something ancient and powerful had noticed Earth's first call. Back at the space station, Lena worked through the night. She analyzed every part of the signal. It was too perfect to be natural. The language, the timing, even the way the message was repeated. It was as if someone wanted Earth to hear it clearly. Suddenly, a new part of the message appeared, hidden in the static. It was a code within a code. Lena's heart pounded as she typed the strange symbols into the computer. The decoded words were chilling. "They are already here." The room filled with shocked gasps. How could they already be here? If the warning came from so far away, how could Earth already be in danger? In the days that followed, small strange events began to occur around the world. Satellites in orbit stopped responding. Communications blacked out for seconds. Mysterious lights appeared in the sky, too fast to be airplanes. Some people reported hearing voices in their dreams, voices speaking a language no one could understand, but somehow familiar. Governments launched investigations, but no answers came. The public remained unaware of the real danger. Behind closed doors, scientists and military leaders worked in secret to prepare for what might come. The world was on edge. One night, Lena sat looking out the window of the space station. The stars seemed to watch her back. She thought about the message and the warning. What if this was the beginning of something no one could stop? What if Earth was not ready for the war coming from the stars? Suddenly, the station's alarm screamed. The signal had changed. It was no longer a warning, it was a countdown dot as the minutes ticked down. Lena and her team raced to send a message back. But who would hear it? And would it be too late? The stars cried out in fear that night. The silence of space shattered forever. The world was still waking up to the terrifying message from the stars. They are coming, the warning said. But no one knew how close those they really were. In a small town near the coast, a boy named Alex stared at the night sky. He was just 12, curious about the stars and what secrets they might hold. That night, something strange happened. As Alex lay on the grass, a sudden flash lit the sky, a green, shimmering light moving fast and silent. Alex blinked and rubbed his eyes, but the light was gone. He thought maybe he had imagined it. But then, deep inside his mind, a voice whispered. It was soft, like a breeze, but clear. Wait for us. Alex sat up, heart pounding. Far away, in secret government labs, strange events were happening too. Satellites stopped working. Power flickered in big cities. Animals acted oddly. Birds flew in perfect, endless circles above cities, an unnatural pattern no one had ever seen. Dr. Lena Carter, still working at the space station, watched these reports with growing fear. The signal's warning had said, they are coming. But now she realized, maybe they were already here. Unknown to the public, a secret group of beings had lived on Earth for years. These were not ordinary people. They were alien observers, hidden among us, blending perfectly into society. Their mission was simple: watch Earth, report back to their home stars, and do nothing unless the danger grew. But now the danger had grown. The alien observers gathered in hidden places, meeting. In the dead of night, they whispered urgently, debating what to do next. One of them, a tall woman with pale skin and eyes that shimmered silver, spoke. Earth is not ready. If we warn them now, the war will come sooner. But if we stay silent, they will be destroyed. Another, a man with sharp features and an icy stare, answered, we have no choice. The time to act is now. Back in the town, Alex's visions grew stronger. Every night, he saw strange figures. They looked like humans, but moved with a grace and speed no one else could match. One night, Alex followed one of these figures into the forest. The figures stopped and turned. Alex could see now, they were not human. Their skin shimmered like metal, and their eyes glowed faintly. Don't be afraid, the figure said. We are here to help, but you must keep this secret. Alex nodded, unable to speak. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, strange weather patterns appeared. Storms erupted out of nowhere. The sky flickered with colors never seen before. The stars themselves seemed to pulse with a rhythm. Scientists were baffled. What could cause such changes? In the shadows, the alien observers prepared. They gathered weapons from hidden caches, technology far beyond anything humans had ever seen. Their ships, small and silent, began to move. They communicated through signals only they could understand. Earth's defenders had no idea what was coming. Dr. Lena received a secret message from one of the alien observers. The message was short but clear. They are already here. Prepare. Lena's heart sank. The war was no longer a distant threat. It had arrived. Back in the secret meeting rooms of the world's leaders, tension was rising. The message from space had united them in fear. But now rumors spread of strange disappearances and sightings. No one could explain what was happening. But everyone knew one thing: Earth's time was running out. Alex was caught in the middle of this growing storm. The alien figure he had met warned him of a coming battle, a war that would change everything. Stay hidden, she said, and wait for the signal. As night fell, The skies over Earth lit up with strange lights. People across the world watched in amazement and fear. Something ancient had awakened, and the stars themselves seemed to cry out. After the chilling warnings and strange signs, Earth's leaders could no longer ignore the truth. The message was clear: an alien threat was approaching. But the world was unprepared. The question was, how would Earth respond? In the high-security halls of the United Nations, the atmosphere was tense. Representatives from every nation sat together, not as rivals, but as uneasy allies. The threat from the stars forced them to set aside their differences. If only for a moment, Secretary General Chun cleared his throat. His voice echoed in the large chamber. We face an enemy unlike any before. This is not a political dispute, not a natural disaster. This is war. In military bunkers and command centers worldwide, generals and scientists worked side by side. Plans were drawn up, weapons tested, and defenses reinforced. For the first time in human history, the entire planet prepared for battle. Dr. Lena Carter stood in the control room of the space station, watching the starry sky with growing concern. The message had said, "They are coming." Now, Earth was building the tools to fight back, but the enemy was not what anyone expected. Scientists analyzing the strange signals discovered that the threat was not a fleet of ships or armies, but a living, intelligent galaxy, a hive mind that could consume entire worlds and grow stronger with every planet it devoured. This horrifying discovery changed everything. In secret labs, researchers studied samples and data sent from deep space. The living galaxy was unlike anything known. It was not just matter or energy, it was alive, moving, and thinking as one. The world's weapons were primitive compared to this living force. Traditional missiles, lasers, and defenses would be useless. Earth needed new technology, and fast. Amid the chaos, a new project began. Scientists worked day and night to build the Star Shield, a massive defense system designed to protect Earth from the approaching hive mind. Meanwhile, a strange presence watched from the darkness. Something beyond human understanding. It waited patiently, knowing Earth's defense would be tested soon. In the midst of these preparations, strange signals continued to arrive. Some were warnings, others pleas for help. The mystery deepened. At a secret base, Lena met with the alien child who had arrived after the star's explosion. She held a crystal that seemed to contain a moving star inside. Their power is beyond anything we imagined, the child whispered. We must use this. But the question remained, could Earth unite in time to face a threat that could destroy all life? As the world held its breath, the first signs of the coming battle appeared. The stars themselves seemed to shift, and the darkness at the edge of space grew heavier. The night sky had always been silent. But now something had changed. Astronomers at the Lunar Deep Space Observatory were the first to notice. A bright star in Orion's belt, known as Alnilam, was flickering fast, sharp pulses like a heartbeat out of rhythm. Then it happened. The star exploded, but it wasn't a normal supernova. There was no buildup, no warning. 1 second it was there, shining like always. The next it vanished in total silence. On Earth, telescopes caught the flash seconds before their systems were fried. The explosion sent out a shockwave of strange energy undetectable by normal instruments, but felt deeply by those who were sensitive. Children across the world woke from their sleep screaming. Animals howled, ran in circles, and then froze in terror. And then came the scream, not a human scream, but a sound that seemed to come from space itself. Radios buzzed with static that sounded like crying. Deep beneath the Earth, seismometers picked up vibrations that spelled something in a forgotten language. The star had screamed before it died. Dr. Lena Carter stood frozen at her console. This wasn't natural, she whispered. This was a warning. Her colleague, Dr. Kenji Mura, pointed at the decoded energy pattern. It looks like a message, Lena nodded slowly. Then we're too late. They're destroying the systems ahead of them. One by one. 3 days after the star's death, something fell to Earth. It wasn't a meteor. It wasn't a spaceship. It was a pot of glowing, smooth object that crashed into the Arizona desert like a knife into soft sand. Within hours, Earth's top. Scientists and security forces surrounded it. As they approached, the pod opened. Inside was a child no older than 10, with pale silver skin, long white hair, and glowing blue eyes. She looked weak, tired, but alive. She tried to speak, but her voice was barely more than a whisper. "You have one chance," she said, "and one weapon." Then she fainted. They took her to a secret research facility underground. The president of the United Nations Emergency Command came in person to meet her. Lena and a team of linguists worked day and night to understand her speech. Luckily, her mind worked differently. She could learn fast. In less than a day, she was speaking English fluently. Her name was Ari. She came from a system 2 galaxies away. Her people had fought the same enemy. "They failed. We tried everything," she said. "Weapons, peace, hiding, nothing worked. It consumes everything it touches, planets, ships, even thoughts. When it gets close, it speaks inside your mind." She showed them the crystal she had held during her arrival. Inside it, a small star rotated, swirling with strange gravity. "This is a fragment of a dying sun," she said. "The last light from my world. If used correctly, it can bend space or time, but only once." The scientists were stunned. Time travel? Warp defense? None of their theories could explain it fully. "It's alive too," Ori said. "Like the enemy, but pure. It chooses who can use it. It chose me." Meanwhile, Earth's defenses grew stronger. The Star Shield system was now half complete. Satellites armed with railguns and plasma shields were sent into orbit. Military teams trained with new technology built using data Ari shared. But still, the fear remained. How do you fight something that consumes thought? Something that made a star scream? Back at the command center, world leaders argued over what to do. Some wanted to use the crystal immediately to destroy the approaching hive. Others wanted to keep it safe as a last resort. "It's the most powerful object in the galaxy," said General Okoro of Nigeria. "If we waste it, Earth is finished." "But what if it's a trap?" asked the German Chancellor. "A gift we can't control?" Ari watched them quietly. Then she said, "It is not a weapon. It is a test. You must earn the right to use it." That night, strange things began to happen across the planet. People reported seeing glowing figures standing on rooftops. Shadows moved where there should be none. Some claimed they heard whispers coming from mirrors. And in every major city, one person disappeared, vanished without a trace, with only black dust left behind. Ari confirmed it. "They are probing your world now, searching, mapping your fears, looking for your weakness." In the desert, where the pod had landed, a large ring of scorched earth was discovered. Plants would not grow there. Animals refused to go near it. The soil glowed faintly under moonlight. Ori began to grow weaker. She told Lena and Kenji, "My body is not made for this planet. I won't last long, but I'll teach you what I can." She showed them how to build a mind shield technology that protected thoughts. She taught them how to listen to deep space, not just with machines, but with emotion. And most importantly, she warned them, the war does not begin with ships or bombs. It begins with fear. Once fear wins, the rest falls quickly. Earth's governments released parts of the information to the public. People were afraid, but inspired too. For the first time, humans knew they were not alone and that someone was willing to fight with them. But hope was short-lived. Astronomers reported movement, massive dark shapes beyond Pluto. Something was coming. Not light, not ships, just darkness. And it was getting closer. The world was no longer just watching the stars. It was waiting and fearing. The dark shapes near Pluto had grown larger in the sky. Earth's defenses were rising, but so was a shadow within that in the hidden corridors of power. Not all were united. Secret deals and whispers spread like wildfire. Fear made some leaders desperate, and desperation made them careless. At the United Nations Emergency Command, Dr. Lena Carter and Ori, the alien child, were meeting with top officials. They discussed strategies, plans, and the crystal's power. But something was wrong. One of the officials, a man named Victor Harrow, seemed nervous. He asked many questions, not about Earth's defense, but about how to use the crystal for power. Late that night, Lena watched Victor from the shadows. He met with someone who spoke in a language Lena did not recognize. The meeting was secret. Tense. Lena recorded it all. But when she tried to show the footage, the files were gone. The system had been hacked. Meanwhile, strange events increased. People began disappearing from cities around the world. These were not random kidnappings. They happened near places where the alien observers had met secretly. Victor Harrow was revealed to be a spy. He worked for a hidden alien faction that wanted Earth to fail. They believed Earth should be destroyed to stop the living galaxy from growing stronger. They thought the only way to save the universe was to sacrifice Earth. Lena and Ori confronted Victor in a secret base beneath the mountains. Victor smiled coldly. "You don't understand," he said. "The galaxy is a storm. We must let it burn. Your crystal, your hope, it's a fantasy. Earth is doomed." But Victor had already taken the crystal. Using its power, he tried to open a portal to Kukuwulu. The dark shapes approaching, Earth hoping to join forces and control the destruction. The attempt failed, but it left a crack in space. Through it, creatures emerged. They were neither fully alive nor dead, shadows without shape. They moved through walls and mines, whispering lies and fear. Earth's defenders fought hard. Military forces clashed with the shadow creatures. Panic spread. Ori, weakened from her journey, helped Lena activate the mind shield technology. It protected the strongest minds from the whispers. The United Nations called an emergency session. Leaders argued fiercely. Some wanted to kill Victor for his betrayal. Others feared his power was too great. In the end, they decided to imprison him. But Victor vanished before they could capture him. As the shadow creatures multiplied, Earth realized the war was inside and outside. Trust was broken. Fear spread like wildfire. Alex, the boy who had first heard the alien whispers, now felt the weight of the coming storm. He knew the real battle was not only in the stars, but in the hearts of humans. The stars above Earth burned cold and distant. But deep in the darkness, the galaxy waited, and the war had only just begun. The war was no longer just a battle between Earth and the stars. It had moved inside the minds and hearts of everyone on the planet. Victor Harrow was missing, but his shadow haunted every corner. The crack in space he opened was a gateway for dark creatures, shadows that slipped through walls, whispered lies, and twisted reality. In cities worldwide, people felt the creeping fear. Friends became strangers. Families argued over small things. Trust was a fragile thread, ready to break. Dr. Lena Carter worked tirelessly with Ori and the global defense teams. They improved the mind shield technology, creating devices people could wear to protect their thoughts from the shadows' whispers. But the shadows were clever. They could mimic voices, show false images, and even manipulate memories. It was hard to tell what was real. Alex, the boy who first heard the alien voice, struggled. He had strange dreams, visions where the stars cried out and dark shapes swallowed light. Sometimes he saw Victor's face, smiling with cruel eyes. One night, Alex woke to find a shadow figure in his room. It whispered promises of power and safety if he joined them. Alex felt fear, but also anger. He shouted, "I won't be afraid." Suddenly, a soft blue light filled the room. Ori had sent a small device to protect him. Meanwhile, in the hidden underground cities, alien observers debated their next move. Some believed Earth should be left to fall. Others wanted to help, risking their own safety. Lena and Ori argued with them. "If we don't help, Earth will be lost. And the galaxy will grow darker," Ori said. One observer replied coldly, "You are human. You don't understand the larger war." Back on Earth's surface, the Star Shield project was finally complete, a network of satellites creating a massive protective field around the planet. The field blocked many attacks, but not the shadows slipping through cracks in people's minds. Victor's influence grew. His followers, known as the Darkburn, spread chaos and fear. They attacked key locations, trying to break the shield from within. During one attack, Lena and Alex barely escaped a collapse in the research center. Alex showed courage beyond his years, helping injured scientists to safety. In the chaos, Lena realized something important. The real weapon against the shadows was not technology but hope. She called a worldwide broadcast. Her voice was steady. "Fear is the enemy. We must stand together, trust each other, and fight not only with weapons, but with courage and love." People listened. Slowly, communities came together. The mind shield devices were shared, protecting more minds from darkness. But the war was far from over. Victor's voice still echoed in the shadows. The living galaxy continued its slow approach. And somewhere, in the deep space beyond, new dangers waited. As dawn broke over Earth, the stars still watched silently. The battle for Earth was no longer just a fight for survival. It was a fight for the soul of humanity. The days were darker now, though the sun still shone. The stars above whispered warnings, but Earth held on to hope. Victor Harrow was still missing, but his Darkburn followers grew stronger. They attacked without mercy, trying to tear down the Star Shield and spread chaos. Dr. Lena Carter and Ori worked tirelessly, searching for a way to use the crystal's power safely. The crystal was the last hope, but its power was unpredictable. One evening, as the sky turned red, Lena received a message. It was from Victor. He demanded a meeting. The leaders debated. Some wanted to destroy him on sight. Others hoped to find a way to bring him back. Lena volunteered to meet Victor, believing there was still good inside him. Ori warned her, "He is dangerous, but maybe he can be saved." The meeting took place in an abandoned space station orbiting Earth. Lena arrived alone, heart-pounding. Victor awaited her, calm and cold. "I see you still believe in hope," he said. "But hope is a weapon that cuts both ways." Lena replied, "And fear destroys everything." Victor revealed the truth. The living galaxy was not just a mindless destroyer. It was a force trying to survive, just like Earth. It had lost many worlds to the darkness that chased it, another enemy far worse. He showed Lena visions, worlds swallowed by a black void, stars snuffed out like candles. The galaxy fought too. Protect itself, but it was dying. "War is inevitable," Victor said, "but maybe together we can find peace." Lena was shocked. Could this be true? Back on Earth, the Star Shield's power was fading. The dark shapes neared. Suddenly, Ori called Lena. "The crystal is reacting. It's ready." Lena faced a choice. Use the crystal to fight, or to try peace. She chose peace. Using the crystal, Lena sent a signal deep into space. A light, pure and bright, spreading hope and peace. For a moment, the stars held their breath. Then, the dark shapes stopped. From the silence, a voice answered. Not angry, but tired. A voice that said, "We do not wish to fight, we only want to live." The stars cried out, not with fear, but with relief. The sky was quiet again. The stars no longer screamed. The darkness that once moved like a living shadow had stopped. Earth had survived, But the world was not the same. After Lena used the crystal to send a signal of peace, everything changed. The great darkness, what they thought was the enemy, did not attack. Instead, it listened. The voice that answered was not full of rage. It was ancient, deep, and tired. It had traveled through galaxies for eons, escaping something even more terrible. It wanted safety, not war. Victor Harrow, the man once seen as a traitor, returned from hiding. He stood in front of the United Nations Assembly and explained everything. "I believed Earth had no hope," he said. "I was wrong. You proved that light can still grow in the dark." Lena, standing beside Ori and Alex, looked at the leaders of the world. Her voice was calm but strong. The war was never between us and them. It was between hope and fear. A world-changed HFY VR with the starshield still orbiting Earth. The planet began to rebuild, but now, Earth was not just a blue dot in space. It was a voice, a beacon, a symbol. A URI. The alien child who had crossed galaxies to warn humanity grew weaker each day. Her body was never meant to survive Earth's atmosphere. But her smile never faded. "You changed everything," she told Lena. "You did what my people could not." Lena held her hand. "You gave us the chance." On the last day of her life, Ori walked outside without a suit for the first time. She stood beneath the sun, closed her eyes, and whispered something in her language. Then her body turned into light, soft, golden light that floated into the sky and disappeared among the stars. The world mourned her, but also honored her. Children in every country learned her story. Statues were built. Songs were sung. Ori had become Earth's first messenger to the stars, the Unity Proj to months past. A new age had begun. World governments joined together under one name, the Unity Project. Borders opened. Weapons were lowered. Scientists from every nation worked side by side. Their goal was simple: to prepare Earth for a new place in the galaxy. No more hiding. No more fear. It was time to rise. Using Ori's shared knowledge, humans built their first deep portal, not for war, but for exploration. It stood tall over the Pacific Ocean, shining like a second sun. People from every continent gathered to watch its first activation. The portal lit up with white and gold energy. A soft hum filled the air, and then a doorway opened. On the other side, stars and something else. A fleet, but not a fleet of war. Dozens of ships, alien and peaceful, floated beyond the gate. They had been waiting, watching. Worlds that had survived the darkness. Like Earth. They had come to welcome humanity. Alex's Dstine Alex, once just a boy who heard the stars cry, was no longer just a child. He had become a symbol of hope. Chosen by the crystal after Ori's passing, he now carried it inside him. Not as a weapon, but as a guide. He spoke to the stars. He listened when others COULDN single quotes T. In one day, the crystal showed him a vision, a future where Earth led a group of worlds in peace, science, and shared knowledge. Lena asked him, "Do you want that future?" Alex smiled. "It's already starting." He left Earth aboard the first Unity Explorer, a ship named Ori-1. Its mission: to find others still hiding in the galaxy, to bring them hope, and to protect them from the real darkness still lurking beyond the stars. Earth's new ROL. With peace came responsibility. The living galaxy, the great mind once feared, asked for Earth's help. It could no longer fight the greater darkness alone. A darkness so old, its name had been forgotten. A force that lived in dead stars, cold places, and lost memories. Earth, now strong and united, answered, "We will stand with you." New schools were built to train star ambassadors. Young scientists learned alien languages. Children studied maps of planets never seen before. And most important, people began to dream of the stars again, not with fear, but with wonder. Lena became the director of Galactic Relations, her job, to guide Earth into this new age with balance, wisdom, and care. She often looked up at the sky, remembering the time when they had feared it. Now it was home. The darkness still wait. Not all battles were won. Beyond the known stars, the forgotten darkness still moved. It had no name, no face, just hunger, and it had noticed Earth. But this time, Earth was not alone. Allied worlds stood ready. Defenses were stronger. And most important, the people of Earth had something even more powerful than weapons or shields. Each other. A message to the future on the 10th anniversary of the star signal. Earth sent a message to the galaxy. It played across the stars in every known language, and in pure light, for those who had no words. The message was simple. We are Earth. We once feared the stars. Now we walk among them. If you are afraid, we will stand with you. If you are lost, we will guide you. If you are in the dark, we will bring the light. A final SCE in a small house on a quiet hill. Lena watched the night sky. She held a notebook filled with memories, drawings from Alex, and Ari's last words written in glowing ink. Light does not end. It travels. She smiled. From her window, she could see the stars. And for the first time in history, the stars smiled back. The end.